voice is doing? You haven't been dealing with a cold or
No,
anything like that?
not
You've
at
been
all.
healthy throughout the entire time you've been away? Okay, fabulous. So then let's just see where we are here. Can we just start on an ah vowel with a V in front of it? So, va. So, ah, no pressure as you descend. Go this way. Yes, I love it. No digging down there. Last one. There you go. Wow. Well, that's kind of calm. That was interesting. That really surprised me.
Well, I've worked a little bit over it, so.
Wow, that you just kind of brightened that a little bit down there, and then it kept you in that resonance as opposed to. Can you describe the difference in feeling, the sensation that's different for you?
Well, before it was in the same exercise, and I was doing the wrong thing, and in the last one I did the right thing, I think. It kind of clicked. But for most of it, it kind of felt like I was trying to be manly. And then when it got down to the bottom the last time, it felt like I was whining.
And it's so funny because our inner ear can be so deceiving, right? Often what we hear inside our inner ear is not what the people hear out there. And you and I have been playing, as you've been making that transition from baritone to tenor, of how sometimes tinny things can feel. And I always tell you of how, for me, when I'm up in the upper partials of my range, sometimes I can feel like a little bumblebee, that's just singing, right? And then out there, when I hear it in a recording, it's warm and it's full, so just getting acquainted with that.
Yeah.
This is good. Can you do a couple of these for me again? Because I heard something that really excited me, right? So just again right here. Okay? Bravo, bravo, bravo. Good at that. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Thank you. What's so lovely about that is that some of that airiness that we sometimes get in that range, where we kind of feel as if though the vocal folds aren't coming together fully, we start losing quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
And we actually start feeling like more core starts coming into the sound, and the sound gets a little bit more present. So it's really, really, really lovely.
Okay.
Great. Let's go into monotone. Now tell me, what are we working towards in this exercise? You and I have done this for a little while, so let's remind ourselves.
I would say that I want to be on my voice. I don't want to be off of the voice. And I want the air to be even throughout. I want to keep a loose jaw, a loose tongue, and a loose neck as well.
So it's basically attacking everything.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Yes.
And one of the main things is vowel alignment.
Okay.
Okay, this exercise is really, I would say that it's moving towards a couple of very key things. So I would make it even, let's just focus it even more. Okay. Clarify it. Number one, the quality of my inhalation and the way in which that air is spinning through my body. So it's always constantly spinning.
Right.
What is it spinning through? It's spinning through a very clear signal, and those are my vowels.
Okay.
What do we know about those vowels?
Why do I always should know exactly what my mouth is doing.
That's true,
Yes.
because we don't want them to be spread.
Yes. And if they're aligned, it can help with blending the two registers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, so these are the two main ingredients here that we're kind of looking at.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
All right, so here we go. Let's start over here. So just speak it for me. Great, and there's a third one too. Making sure that that jaw is out of the way and that the tongue is what's producing that nasalized end for you, okay? Ni. That's fabulous. One more time. Great, one last time, and even down here, can you raise that soft palate a little bit more? Even in the lower part of the range, you know, we gotta get that palate in there.
Right.
Fabulous, and now we're gonna simply add pitch to this. Great. Yes, slow, deep breath. Great. There's a couple instances in the on the ooh vowel where it still wants to go a little bit into the nose.
Okay.
So one of the exercises that I love is that in conjunction with what we're doing, that we go ahead and we plug that nose
Yeah.
a little bit
Okay.
to recondition the body to begin exploring that resonance that's available to you beyond the nose.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and try this.
Right.
Even down here. Ni. Yes, sir. Yes. Do you feel how this is? I mean, aside from the fact that you can't breathe through your nose, do you feel how this is different and it accesses?
Yes.
Yeah, do that again, and now this time work to refine those vowels so that we don't get ni, but ni. That's lovely. Loose tongue here. That's very nice, Landon. Can you do that one again and make sure that everything is just a little looser and a little bit more open before you even begin? That's gorgeous. Nice and open, open. Make sure that the corners of those mouths is just a little bit.
Felt it spread a bit, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Yes, do this one again and really allow that air to soar out this way. Yes, how's that feel?
Unsteady.
Unsteady.
Yes.
Why?
Well, it feels like I don't have any control. I don't have any control.
Exactly.
It's just like, it'll be what it'll be. I'm just
It's
like,
just, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. The funny thing is that you do have control. You have control in the process, right? And as you begin to trust that process more, of good vertical vowels, of free-flowing air, of that tongue being nice and loose and that palate being raised, as you begin to trust that, you start learning that that just doesn't fail you.
okay.
And so you can start feeling a lot more confidence in the fact that I know my process. Every time I do it and I pursue it, it works.
Okay.
So I can begin to trust it a little bit more. Even though, yes, does it feel vulnerable? Does it feel naked?
Yeah.
Yes, because I have nothing to hold on to anymore. Those things that that used to entangle me, whether it was holding to tension in the jaw, which was a huge deal for you, and it's so much improved. Whether it was plugging things in the nose, whether it was entangling my tongue, all that we've now stripped it away. We're beginning to strip all that away, so you have nothing to cling to anymore.
Right.
And so it's like, what do I hold on to? The energy, the air.
Okay.
All right, the pursuit of the good vertical valve.
Okay.
All right, good. Do this one last time. Bravo. Okay. Okay, let's do a couple of arpeggiated versions of that now. Actually, let's start a little higher. All right, and when you do this, remember, we are going to be ascending, right? So there's going to come a point where it becomes more of a laryngeal event, and we have to send signals of relaxation to the larynx. You're going to feel that fork in the road where, do I chest, or do I allow things to turn?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We know what we got to do. All right. Fabulous. Even down, and I appreciate that you're keeping the nose plugged for me, just so we can keep reconditioning the body to accept that other resonance that's available to you.
Okay.
Even down here, yeah, get those corners of the mouth in this position just a little bit more, so we're not getting too much breath. Beautiful. Palate raised as you descend. This is lovely. Yes, sir. Looseness of tongue. Good, Landon. Take your time here. Yes, do that one again and even looser. Yes, sir. Now try to take the hands off and now try to do that. Try to see if you can find the same feeling and access that same resonance, but without the hands there. Yeah. Talk about that. Were you successful?
I think so.
I think you
felt
were
the same
too.
feeling that
I
I do
think
when
you
I
were
do
too.
it.
Fabulous. Put the hands back there again, because now we're going into tricky territory, and I want you to first find it, and then we'll go. Good. How'd that feel?
Open.
Good.
Yes.
The fork in the road, my friend.
No.
Talk about that. Why not?
I was in a place I shouldn't have been on the arm. I just feel it was wrong.
Okay.
It felt wrong.
So let's find that again.
It's closer.
That's closer. That's getting better. And I want you to make sure that you're continuing to pursue those vowels. Remember, this is a laryngeal event, so
Right.
before you even begin, make sure that the quality of the inhalation is stabilizing that larynx. Not depressing it, but definitely stabilizing it. So it's not riding high and anticipating that this is getting, right? But
Right.
This way, okay? transitioning. That's fabulous, good. Now you've got this first note here. Even the first note should be aware of where it's going, right? Yes, do that again and find even more comfort and ease in that, and see if you can find a little bit more open feeling before you even begin. How's that feel?
Pillowy.
Lovely. This tenor transition is really, it's coming very nicely. To think about that, a couple months ago, you couldn't even access that. You didn't even had access to that.
Yeah.
And then now you're beginning to find it. One last time, try to find even more freedom and looseness in there. Fabulous. Now drop the hands, and this time, great joy in that. Okay? Yes? Yes? Make sure that the valve doesn't spread on you here. Little deep breath. Stay vulnerable for me here. How's that feel?
Good. That's nice.
It's well on its way. It's well on its way. There is this battle that so many tenors go through, especially the tenor that's going in transition. When you've been a baritone and you're moving up, where that inner ear can be so deceiving because it can sound so light, almost a little airy in the middle voice as you're working to blend those registers. So some of that doubt and double-mindedness can sometimes be going on at this juncture in development. Stay encouraged, my friend, that's well on its way. I'm really excited to hear in a couple months just how that's going to start to gel and come together even more.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for Miss Debbie,
Okay.
our pianist. What are you going to sing for me today?
I was thinking we do Where You Walk.
Okay,
If that's okay.
great. Let's go for that.
Okay.
Let's go and let's see Where You Walk. Let's skip the B section because I think there's a great deal that we can work on just here.
Okay.
But I first want to tell you, beautiful work in beginning to align this, to trust the head voice, to finally start coming in. Okay? There are a couple of moments where you still want to grab. And this is particularly in the uval, where that jaw closes up on you. Yeah, did you feel that?
Yes.
And we've talked about this a couple times before, but those darn muscles still have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
And so, trees where you can you just say, where you?
Where you?
Can you feel how that hinge right there doesn't have to move?
Right.
Where you?
Where you?
So that's going to become really important.
Okay.
The other big important thing for you here is that quality of your inhalation. That it's working to stabilize that larynx. And it's harder to prepare certain vowels than it is others. So for example, when you say shall, you remember our English diction rule for this? The sounds?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What is it?
Is it air?
Open A.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is so important, especially for the tenors. You're moving through the passaggio in some of these, so instead of shall, shall. Okay? Right? And every time I'm inhaling, I'm stabilizing that larynx and I'm moving through those good vowels. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's all correlated, my friends.
Yeah.
Right? So not over-masticulating on the ooze, allowing that larynx to stabilize every time that I inhale. The good diction, which you're doing a good thing with. And here's my last thing, and it's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to do this and kind of spread the bottom lip down and out here. And I really need you to, yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And it's going to feel a little bit extreme for you in the beginning, but that we're going more towards this and not
Smile.
not so much. This is so important for the tenor moving through the passaggio, is that embouchure is nice and focused, moving through there, okay? All right. Pavarotti used to talk about, that kind of trumpet feeling here, and then that trumpet opens as we get higher, but moving through that passaggio, that small focused trumpet feeling, okay? Can we try this from the beginning?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor and put your hand here for me? Right? And the hands do that a little bit, but boy, does it also get these corners of the mouth a little bit in. So now we need to find that balance, where we get just a little bit more clarity of vowel, a little bit more clarity of diction, but through this. And you are capable of doing both.
Yeah.
Okay? Great. It is scary, isn't it? Now, when you go to that where, can you loosen that tongue and allow that air to spin?
Yes.
So, but you see the position of my mouth? Okay, where? Right there? Ah, you see, yes! So, Thank you.
the scariest part of the song for me.
Thank you. Okay, but it's going to become less and less scary as you become very intentional of what you're doing there.
Okay.
Okay, because that was gorgeous.
Oh.
It was free.
Okay.
Okay, I got that spin. I got that nice vertical vowel that I wanted on here. That tongue loosened up and went this way.
Yeah.
Okay, can you do that for me one more time?
Right from there?
Put your hands right there. And bravo. Okay, bravo. What we ended up seeing here is that it's that E vowel that's the nemesis for you. It's that one that has the tendency to want to go this way. And when you kept it focused here, everything was just able to align, and the vocal folds were able to come together more because the air was working for you more efficiently. Because when we go lateral, way lateral here in the mouth, like what was happening a little bit before, that kind of starts dispersing the air in such a way where the air can never get focused and get gathered.
Right.
And then that has adverse effects when the vocal folds coming together.
Okay.
Okay? So this is a big difference. You have a lot more time before that last little shout crowd into a shape. Okay? And he's intentional here. This is what makes great composers for the voice. And Handel's one of those. He has given you time to lower that larynx. Not to depress it, but to lower it before. Okay? Trees where you will sit. Okay? You have all that time. Okay? Can you do that top of that page? So, where you walk. Okay? Keep those hands there because it's helping you quite a bit. And cool gales. Take time. Talk about it.
I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it sounds very good.
Yeah, because it's that whole inner ear thing. Okay? It's that inner ear thing. You know, it just takes time for that baritone who's doing that tenor transition. What does it sound? Let me guess. Does it sound a little eerie?
Yes.
Does it sound small?
Yes, and at the same time, it almost sounds like I'm going,
It's so funny.
which is weird, because I'm not.
Yeah. And a lot of this has to do with how much you lived in contemporary repertoire and contemporary styles, you know.
Not just that.
I mean, is this the first Handelian piece you've ever sung, or the second one you've ever sung in your life, or first? The very first one, right?
Well, besides Messiah, which is with a group.
Yeah, it was with the group, right? So as we start engaging in new styles of singing, this also kind of opens up our ears to new sounds that we're not used to, you know? And we start hearing our voice in new ways that we haven't done before, you know? So, you're doing great. Keep dancing the dance, all right? Can we hear Extasa really quick?
Yeah.
I would love to hear this.
Okay.
Now, put your hands down.
Okay.
Now, tell me a little bit about this piece. Who's it by?
It was written by Henry Duparc.
There you go.
Henri Duparc.
Henri Duparc. Yeah. Fabulous. But Henry Duparc.
Okay.
All right, but Henri Dupont,
And it's
yes.
a poem called, well, Ecstasy, written by an impressionist poet, and he was also a doctor, but he wrote poetry. And this is, well, this is about being in the throes of love.
And we also know that Dupont was so critical. Some people might argue that even to an unhealthy point, right? He wrote so many songs, ended up burning, trashing all of them, and only a handful of them survived. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those pieces that he thinks is, that he thought highly of, and that he felt was really indicative of his work. So it also demands from us, as does all classical repertoire, but that we enter into it with that kind of reverence, you know?
Yeah.
So let's hear what is going on here.
Okay.
Have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big beginning.
Yeah.
2 measures before?
Sure.
Okay.
2 measures is fine. Yeah.
Okay. How'd that feel?
I felt vowel alignment was a little bit lacking in some places, and I feel that I was pushing in some places and not allowing the head voice to take over. And also at the part where there's this big ascension to the A, I feel that there was a big disconnect between the 2 registers, and it was just kind of like I went from one to the other, and there wasn't really a smooth transition.
Mm-hmm. When you actually went up and into that higher section, and this is also a tenor thing moving through the passaggio, you will hear those registration shifts in your ear when they're like at 50-50,
Yeah.
where they turned, but maybe they could have turned with a little bit more ease, and you'll hear the click,
Yes.
In your ear. You'll hear it a lot more than we will. So I actually didn't hear it nearly as much as you did. But what I did hear was, oh, that's not as open as he's able to do that.
Okay.
Right? And it was simply just because you turned too late.
Okay.
And then you took that chest voice up to places where it don't belong.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
In good English.
Yeah.
So just trust it.
Okay.
Just really, and I know that is so scary, to allow that voice to turn, to obey gravity when you've been used to, kind of just chesting things. And because of how much pop you've done in the past, and so I know that is, but follow that road, unfortunately, that's less traveled. When you think of how many singers are in the world today, right, and how much pop is, but that road less traveled of allowing that head voice to come in and really just speak to those tones in a way where they get more open. Okay, I'd like to hear also just, how do I say it, a little bit more liberty of legato in this. And I say liberty of legato because I feel as though you sang it very pretty and you sang it very beautifully, but I would say somewhat academic.
Oh.
Why not, right? You're an undergraduate student. But I think that you're capable of something more. I think that you're capable of really just allowing your body to be more at ease. Allowing the air to just kind of flow. Sorry, I just get passionate. But allow that breath to just kind of flow just a little bit more and spin out of you relentlessly a little bit more, as opposed to, if I were to physicalize it, and of course I'm going to exaggerate, because I always just exaggerate a little bit so that you can kind of see.
Oh, sure.
But, you know, kind of my whole stance was just kind of contained, I would say. Does that make sense?
I'm really focused on not swaying.
Yeah, but you know what?
Sometimes when I'm focused too much, I just lose everything.
But have I ever criticized you on overly swaying? You know, not
People have. I got taken points off for gnats.
on gnats for swaying a little bit. I
Emotive
think
swaying.
sometimes you can sway a little bit excessively. I've seen it happen, you know, but sometimes feeling that those hips are a little bit loose can actually be a little helpful at times, because it helps engage the quads that connect you a little bit more to your body, you know, so feeling this. So I don't want you to take this not swaying to the extreme, where then suddenly you become stiff.
Yeah.
Because I get this sense that it kind of stiffens your breath a little bit. You know, what I got in the beginning, right? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I had a lock on those hips, I'd probably go open, right?
Okay.
Okay? Right, can we just try this a little bit?
Yes.
Remember, singing involves our entire body. It is an event for the entire body. It's not just something that emanates from here.
Okay.
So how stiff those hips are, how the quads are moving, it all says something to the voice, okay? Let's try it again.
Okay.
You feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, I want you to, I'm not saying, you know, and also think about this, you know, you have an interest in operatic repertoire as well. There's no opera singer in the world that stays like this.
There was one. I read about one. They called him the singing man or something.
The singing.
He just came out, sang, and went back off. Back in the 1800s. Yeah.
Well, they do. Some of these they call them park and bark.
Okay.
But yes, this is a recital piece. But this is also, believe it or not, this is one of the new part pieces that he also orchestrated and that have been orchestrated. So can you imagine with full orchestra? You know, it really does become even more of an event for the body, you know, with that voice, right? So I love it. I love the fact that you're a little bit freer now moving into this. Get that tongue a little looser for these oo vowels, okay? I'm thinking particularly of do, so, me, do. Can you say do, so, me, do? No, but good diction. Do, so, me, do. And now say it to me where it's not whispery. Did you notice I didn't do whispery?
Right. I did.
Because we know that's your tendency, right? Where you say, do, so, me, do. So, do, so, me, do. Get the voice out there. Ah, thank you. Okay, now can you sing that for me while you dance the dance?
Yes.
Do, so, me, do. I'll take $5 for that. Did you feel the difference? All right, everything stayed on him. I got it.
So much more free.
Yes. Okay, can you do that again? Dans so me do. Low and spin.
So
Okay? I know. For that tenor in transition, it's so scary. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I would never even know that you are a baritone in transition to tenor. Okay? What I do need you to do is, I need you to prepare for this event a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay? So, and it starts when you begin to sing these first mod exquisa, mod parfumée. So when you sing those, can you inhale in such a way that it's allowing that larynx not to raise so much?
It's
So,
really driving there.
yeah. So can you say, mod, mod? Now say that whole phrase, because I want to make sure that all those other vowels stay this way and not go this way.
Mod exquisa.
Yes, and these E vowels are going to be so important here that they don't go back. Exquis.
Exquis.
That tongue goes this way.
Okay.
Mare. And I would even say that it happens on the E of the word exquisa. Mare. Mare exquis.
Mod exquisa.
Yes, and now say more parfum.
Mod parfum.
A little bit more F. A little more F there. And
Mod parfum.
yes. More parfumé.
Mod parfum.
And then you have a rest. And you want to stretch that rest as much as you can so that it stabilizes the larynx for this event. You know where you're going.
Yes.
And as I'm ascending, I'm imagining that that larynx is relaxing. I'm not going to say that it's depressing. We don't want to think that it's depressing. But that larynx does relax with that nice vertical bow.
Okay.
Can you think about these things, and can we take it back to mod exquisa?
Yes.
That first one? Take all your time. All right, let's go.
Mod exquisa.
This is not anything that can be rushed. This isn't anything that you can slap a trick on. It's all about reconditioning the muscles for something that it just hasn't done before. Your tendency for so many years was to grab as you get higher. And we are trying to recondition those muscles to get looser as you get higher. Can you just do the du souffle?
Yes.
And I want you to keep thinking there. What's so exciting about this, Landon, is that 3 months ago, you couldn't even sing that without cracking. Is it true?
Yes. Studio class.
You know, it was one after the other, trying to figure out. And when we're going through that tenor transition, we kind of have to just be patient with being there while the muscles, you know, go through that reconditioning process. And they're going through that process, and slowly but surely things are opening up. And vocally, we've been going up to B flat, so this is so exciting. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to this semester, my friend.
Me too.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for today.
Thank you.